What's up, y'all? It's your boy Tez, and I'm back with another video. And y'all, in today's video, I'm gonna be talking about my depression and my anxiety. I really didn't want to do this video until I felt like I had fully overcame it. So once I feel like I fully overcame it, then I was like, yeah, I can do it. You know, and I feel like it's something that I can really, it's like my testimony. Like I can tell people about it and how I dealt with it. So yeah, let's get into this video. So I'll start first with depression. I feel like my depression came from like a lot of times in school, people called me a lot of stuff, and they always used to say stuff about me. Like ever since I was a kid, so it's like, yeah, I didn't really pay attention to it when I was a kid. But I feel like once you become a teenager and once you start hit those teenage years, like it's like a lot of stuff you start to process, and you really start to see how you're growing into yourself. So it's like I've been getting called a lot of stuff since I've been a kid. So all the way up until now, I mean, people still gonna think stuff about you, but I'm gonna start from when I was like middle school, stuff like that. So people have always said stuff about me. So I feel like my depression came from just people always saying stuff about me, to where it made me feel like anytime I went somewhere, or anytime like even if I was with my mom, or even if I was with anybody, like anytime I went somewhere, like I would get so like my fear would come, and I could just feel that anxiety inside of me, to where I just felt like, you know, I didn't want to go nowhere. So that's why I became so antisocial. So my mom used to be like, why you don't want to go nowhere? Why you never want to do nothing? And I didn't never really like tell her, but like I just kept it to myself. And I don't really like, it's not that I don't like to tell people my business. I like to internalize a lot of stuff, because I just feel like, what if I tell somebody and then they just have this, they just don't give me the encouragement that I need, or they just don't give me, you know, the vibe that I need in that moment. You know, that's how I see it. Because I just feel like a lot of people, I ain't gonna get all into that, but I just feel like a lot of people don't have the same mentality that you have, and they're not gonna see it the same way you see it. So it's like, you know, why would I tell them? So yeah, my depression, and a lot of my depression came from like when all the, what was it, protests, like in 2020, all the killing, all that stuff was happening. It really made me feel like, dang, like people really hate people. Like, why do people act like this? And like, it just really made me it had a big impact on me, on my depression. So it's like I was already feeling kind of some kind of way, and then it's like this started happening, and I was just like, I didn't even want to go to the bus stop and stuff. Like I just felt like when I was at the bus stop, people would do anything to me. That's where the anxiety came in. It was like I just felt like people would just do anything. I didn't know what people was gonna do to me. I didn't know what people was gonna do to my family or anybody. I just didn't understand. It's not that I didn't understand it. It was hard for me to deal with it. So but back to the depression. When the depression came and all that stuff, like I said, I kept it to myself. I didn't really tell my family. So with my depression, I feel like my biggest insecurities, I'm gonna use that word, even though I don't like using that word, but insecurities was like my eye color, my skin color. I just felt like, why? No, I just felt like I didn't feel like I was that. You know, I just didn't feel like I was that. I didn't feel good. I didn't feel like I was a real OG. I just didn't feel good. I mean, it's like inside I felt good, but it's like my outer appearance, it's like it wasn't good enough. That's how I saw it. And so, like I said before, I just feel like when I went places, I just feel like people were staring at me. And when I just know what people used to say about me. So it's just like in my mind, I'm just like, when I go out somewhere and people see me, I'm thinking in my head, is they looking at me? And is they getting the same perspective that I have always heard my whole life? So it's like, I didn't really, like I said, I didn't want to go nowhere. And so, yeah, I won't really say, I will say it was depression, but then again, it was also my mind, and the things I was going through in my mind would also make me depressed. So I ain't gonna get all into that. But in my mind, I was dealing with a lot of things in my mind and my emotions. Sometimes I used to let my emotions control me. And it's not always good to let your emotions control you, because sometimes you could be in a good moment at one point, and it's like something bad happened, or even if something bad doesn't happen, it's like your emotions are just sound like you go through these mood swings, and it's like, what is the problem? And I even tell my mama, like, sometimes I feel like when I get that quiet, most of the time it's something wrong with me. So now I feel like now she understands, and now I can kind of conversate with her about it. And but my anxiety, it kind of came from, like I said, with the protests and all that stuff, and all the killing that was going on. It made my anxiety bad. And then, like I said before, like, with just going out and just being somewhere, I just didn't want to do it. I just didn't want to be there. I just feel like it gave me real bad anxiety. I really do have like a big fear of, well, I did have a big fear. It's like I'm still overcoming that fear. But the fear is like when I used to have to get up in front of the people. I didn't like doing that. I didn't like get up in front of people talking and doing stuff, even though it's good for you. I just didn't like to do that. And so like, and that's how you know this is how you know when your anxiety is bad. When you know you have to do something that you don't like, and that fear comes, and then you get the shaking, and then you just all the jittery and stuff. That's how I know when it's not, I wouldn't say it's an anxiety attack, but it's like, that's how you know when your anxiety is coming, or that's how you know when it is anxiety. Like you start to shake. That's how, that for me, I start to shake real bad, and then it's like I just don't want to do it. And anxiety is what causes fear. I feel like, if your fear is what causes your anxiety. So when you start to fear something, fear is part of anxiety. So it starts from there. So sometimes you have to overcome those fears, or what you don't like doing, or what you do, things that you wouldn't normally do. That's how I feel like you can overcome these things. Do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like if you have a fear of getting up in front of people, start doing that. Even though it may seem hard. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you have a fear of that, just get up in front of people and just do it, or just do things that you wouldn't normally do. Like just go out in front of people, and when you go out, or when you do what you feel like you don't normally do, have the best confidence in the world. Like have the most confidence to where you be like, me and God owning this, and you gotta have a higher power. That's one main thing. Like you gotta have somebody that is above you. Like a lot of people don't believe in Jesus. A lot of people don't believe in God. A lot of people don't believe in the Holy Spirit, but that's what I believe in. I don't believe in nobody else. I don't feel like nothing else can save me, or nothing else can direct me in the right path. So that's what I believe in. And I feel like you gotta have a higher power. And then that higher power is Jesus. I mean, ain't no other option. Let's be for real. Ain't no other option. So your higher power is Jesus. So if you have Jesus at the center, and then it's like he'll make everything all right. I promise you. He'll make everything all right. So it's like you gotta have a higher power, and then it's when you have these, once you have a higher power, it allows you to move in a different way. He will direct the paths of what you're trying to get through, or whatever you feel like is hindering you or overcoming you. You can overcome it. The Bible says nothing is impossible with God. I mean, with God, nothing is impossible. So it's like there's no such things as impossible, and there's no such thing as perfect. You will never be perfect, because God didn't create you to be perfect. And then, like, I hate when people say practice makes perfect. Practice does not make perfect. Practice makes better. Because when you practice this thing and you keep doing this thing, it allows you to be better. It doesn't allow you to be perfect, because sometimes you may still feel the same way. You may still have that same fear. That's why I'm saying, like, once you had that anxiety of, like, get up in front of people, do that, so where you keep practicing that, and you will get better at it. You're never going to be perfect at it, but you'll get better. Because it may be sometimes you may still stumble. Maybe sometimes you may still fall. But it's like once you keep doing it, it allows you to get better at it. And then with the depression, I just feel like you could just, I mean, you don't have to stay there. You don't have to live in that. You don't have to be that person. You don't have to not like yourself or love yourself. Be comfortable in yourself. I mean, because, it ain't nothing you can change about it. I mean, if you want to get face implants, if you want to get booty injections, I'm just being honest. If you want to do all that, that's up to you. But it's like, you're going to know you're not an original you, because you made so many changes to you. So it's like, be who you are, love yourself, have gratitude. It's like, be thankful for what you have. The small things matter, y'all. I promise you, small things do matter. And once you just keep moving once, like I said, have that high power, and he will allow you to just keep moving in the right direction. He won't lead you to no road that is not best for you. I feel like a lot of times we ask God for the stuff, and then it's like, when he don't give us fully what we want, it's like you mad at him. But it's like he's taking you through that process to get to what you want. He wants you to know. He wants to see if you can have the faith in him, and he wants to see that if he takes you through all these things, are you strong enough to even handle what you're getting to? You know what I'm saying? So it's like the depression and anxiety, it's just a process. I mean, because it ain't nothing that can just keep, if you don't have to be in that your whole life. It's only if you allow yourself to be there your whole life. I mean, and who want to live that kind of life? I mean, sometimes you gotta get up and make a decision. It's either you're gonna stay there or you're gonna get up and move. I mean, get up and move, or you're gonna stay there. It's either one. It is, life don't come with no remote control. You got to get up and change it yourself. I mean, so it's like with my depression and my anxiety, this is how I overcame. I started to do things that I wouldn't normally do. I just started to move in a different way, and I started to look in a different direction, and I got to the person that I know I needed to get to, and that was God. I felt like I needed to get to him in order to overcome these things, And even with my relationship with God, I've been still dealing with these problems. I feel like I fully overcame depression and anxiety just a few weeks ago. Like, I feel like I fully overcame these problems that I've been facing. And I just feel like, don't be around people that you know is not benefiting you. Sometimes people around you is what's not benefiting you. Sometimes people can be killing your peace. They can just be killing your motive, your vibe. Just get from around those people, because it's like, maybe they be putting that on you. Their negativity and all that vibe, they may be putting that on you. And y'all, the biggest way to kill like a dream, or the biggest way to kill something that you want to overcome, the biggest way to kill that is like telling it to a small-minded person. If you want to tell this person, I have this problem that I'm going through, or I have this thing in my mind that I want to get through, or I have something in my mind that I want to do or overcome, I have this dream in my mind that I want to fulfill, and it's like, oh, ain't nobody gonna do that, or ain't nobody gonna recommend that, or ain't nobody gonna buy that. You know, that's how small-minded people are. They don't believe in you, but long as you believe in you, you know, you got that higher power, it allows you to get through those things. It allows you to keep moving in the right direction, because he got you. I mean, God really do got you. Like, there's nobody, I can't completely depend on nobody else. And look, I can't completely depend on nobody else. I can only completely depend on him, because it's like I said, he's that higher power. He's my God. He's nobody. I mean, I won't put nobody else before him. I mean, he's all that I need. Even if everybody else leave, I mean, you can leave. Like, go wherever you gonna go. As long as I got him on my side, and that's all that really matters. I mean, so y'all remember, you don't have to stay in these situations. You don't have to live in these situations, because, I mean, if you want to overcome, you got to get, like I said, get up and move. I mean, you don't have to live there. You don't have to stay there. You don't have to be there. That's another thing. You got to make the decision if you want to live there. So you got to make the decision if you want to get up and change it. I mean, that's how I overcame my depression and my anxiety. That's my little story on how I dealt with it and stuff like that. And I still kind of deal with my confidence and everything, because I just felt like, I used to feel like my skin was too dark or whatever, but I'm confident in me. I'm confident in myself. You got to walk into the room knowing that you got God with you, and that you and him owning it. I mean, walk up in the room with all the confidence. Just tell God, me and you owning this. Me and you are owning this. I mean, don't even even though those bad people, don't even take them with you. I mean, just leave them behind, and you just move by yourself, even if you got to. So yeah, y'all, that's my little story on my depression and my anxiety, and how I got through and how I dealt with it. Yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the videos. If you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe.